So I'd like to welcome the graduates, both online and in person, and welcome to the families, welcome to the staff and the faculty. We're so excited to have you here today. So take a minute and think about how challenging this journey has been, but you made it. You got your associate degree. You passed the NCLEX. You had that challenging first job in nursing. You continued your education for a bachelor's degree and or a master's degree, and you're here today. Even one of those is an absolutely incredible achievement, but you've accomplished them all. Congratulations. And as you step into your next chapter, please remember this. Never stop moving forward. Say yes to that exciting new job. Take the leap forward to the next degree. Continue to grow, to learn, and to push beyond what feels comfortable. There's absolutely no ceiling to your career. That's one of the most amazing parts of nursing. And we need new voices. We need new leaders in healthcare. And we want those people to be you. There are so many problems that need to be addressed in healthcare, and we need those new perspectives. What we've been doing for decades is just not working. And the graduates sitting in this room today have every ability and every responsibility to become the leaders that nursing so desperately needs. So congratulations again on this absolutely incredible achievement, and know that the future of healthcare is stronger because of you. And at this time, I'd love to welcome Dean Braverman to the podium.
This is one of my favorite of all of the events that we hold at the end of the year. Listening to you all tell us about your lives, your work, and the study that has helped you accomplish your goals is one of the most gratifying events of the year for us. So good evening, graduates, families, faculty, staff, CUNY SPS staff that are here. Welcome to you as well. It's my pleasure welcoming you all to the CUNY SPS 2026 Nursing Convocation and Pinning Ceremony. Tonight we gather to honor over 200 graduates who have earned their bachelor's and master's degrees while caring at the same time for parents, families, and communities across New York City and beyond. This extraordinary cohort includes nurses, nurse educators, nurse leaders, and nursing informatics professionals who have demonstrated their expertise and leadership not only in our classrooms, but in hospitals, clinics, community organizations, and everywhere care is needed. Your accomplishments are remarkable under any circumstance, but what makes it all especially inspiring is how you've reached this moment. With resilience and discipline and compassion, many of you have balanced rigorous coursework with long shifts, family responsibilities, and the daily demands of a profession that asks so much of those who choose it. You met every challenge with determination and grace, and now, because of your dedication, you stand at this important milestone. At CUNY SPS, we're proud to serve adult learners whose education is deeply connected to purpose. Our students do not simply study nursing. They live the profession every day. You bring real-world experience and, into the classroom and carry new knowledge back into your workplaces and communities where it is needed most. Your success reminds us of why education matters. It opens access and opens doors. It strengthens professions, and it expands possibilities. This ceremony also takes place at the start of National Nurses Week and month, a time when we recognize the profound contributions nurses like you make to our society every day. Nurses are often the first to notice, the first to respond, and the first to reassure. You are advocates when patients need a voice, educators when families need guidance, and leaders when systems need change. And anyone who's been ever hospitalized knows very well how important nurses are in supporting patients. You also know better than anyone that nursing is about far more than clinical skill. It's about trust and judgment. It's about empathy in moments when empathy matters most. Excuse me. It's about showing up over and over again with steadiness and compassion. In a world that is constantly changing, those qualities remain timeless. Tonight's pinning ceremony, more than anything else, stands both as a celebration and a symbol. It honors the work you have already done and the lives you have already touched. It also marks the next chapter of your journey, a renewed commitment to serve, to lead, and to advance health and equity in every community you reach. Graduates, as we celebrate your achievement tonight, know that you carry with you the respect and pride of our school. We believe in your talent, in your compassion, and in your ability to shape the future of healthcare. And we could not be prouder of you and all that you have achieved. Congratulations, class of 2026, and thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I'd love to welcome Dr. Linda Paradiso to the stage.
Thank you and congratulations. It's truly an honor to introduce someone whose journey reflects the very heart of nursing: advocacy, resilience, and unwavering commitment to the community. Farah Souffrant Forrest. Farah's story begins in Brooklyn, where she was raised as the daughter of Haitian immigrants and educated in the New York City public school system. She went on to pursue higher education with purpose, earning her associate degree in nursing from City Tech, and where I had the privilege of meeting her. Later, she earned her Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the CUNY School of Professional Studies. As a nurse, Farah chose work that placed her directly in the lives of patients and families. She served as a maternal child health nurse, caring for new mothers and witnessing firsthand the complex realities that shape health: housing instability, economic hardship, access to care, and system inequities. Her nursing practice did what we hope all nursing education does. It expanded her clinical lens beyond tasks and into the lived experience of patients and communities. In 2020, Farah was elected to the New York State Assembly, representing Brooklyn's 57th district. Since taking office, she has championed issues that will resonate deeply with nurses: expanding access to health care, advocating for housing stability, and advancing policies that address the social determinants of health. She's been a voice for working families, for patients, for communities, often unheard in traditional systems of power. For those of you graduating, her journey offers a powerful reminder. Your nursing degree is not the end of your impact, it's the beginning. Whether you lead at the bedside, in the boardroom, in research, or in public policy, the values you carry as nurses have the power to transform systems and improve lives. Please join me in welcoming nurse, advocate, and Assembly member Farah Souffrant Forrest.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, come on, a little. I know y'all age, y'all belly full, but come on. Good evening, everyone. We're here for a celebration, a wonderful celebration of professionals going out and changing the world. As it was said, my name is Assemblymember Farah Soufran Forrest, and I am a proud alumna of CUNY SPS, where I received my BSN in 2020. I wasn't able to attend my pinning ceremony in 2020 because of the pandemic, because I was pregnant. And here I am again in the same situation. But we're here, so we're happy. I'd like to offer a huge thank to all the SPS leaders in the room, including Dr. Plaskin, Dean Braverman, Senior Associate Dean Jennifer Sparrow, Assistant Dean Ruru Rusman, and as well as Executive Director of Development, Andrea Brown, for supporting many students that look like me throughout their journeys. Congratulations to all the bachelor's and advanced practice professional registered nurses in the room and their families here on Zoom, and to the student speakers, Ikra and Davian. So, before I became a nurse, I had many jobs, some including being an Uber driver, a cleaning lady, and a party promoter. I also worked in education and mentorship. But no matter the title I held, I always was trying to answer the question of why things were the way they were. As nurses, we know that to be the PICO question. And all of this questioning was because ultimately I was not satisfied with the status quo. I couldn't go along to get along, no matter how much money I was making and no matter the title that I held. Nursing taught me what I was really exploring was the different social determinants of health and identifying the negative impacts when the balance was not corrected. And it was actually all of my experience, both in and out of the field of nursing, always seeing all the determinants of health that impacted the lives of my patients, my family, and my friends, and always asking the why question that got me interested in organizing in my community and running ultimately for office. I saw that the clinical space goes beyond the four walls, goes beyond the clinical environment, beyond the patient's home, and actually landed in places like Albany. And so, what happened to my pages? Yes, that landed, I'm sorry, my pages got a little messed up. So that landed beyond the patients and actually landed in Albany. And so, if there's anything that I want you to take from my speech today, is that healthcare is political. I don't care where you are at in your life. Know that every time you're touching a patient, you're engaging with the family, you're engaging in the rounding, or you're engaging outside the community, you are engaging in a political conversation. And so I see that every day in my work in the assembly. So for example, right now, we are late on our budget. That means that everyone else who balances their paycheck bi-weekly or monthly, we haven't balanced our paycheck yet, and we're over 30 days late. And the reason why we're held up is because of conversations around public safety, healthcare issue, Medicaid, healthcare issue, climate change, healthcare issue. And this is where we spend the biggest amount of money in our budget. But this conversation is not far removed from you. For example, when I was a nurse, I had a patient where I was counseling her on diabetes. She showed me, I showed her, teach me demonstrate to me how you pull up your insulin. She pulled it up on the syringe and it was 8 units. The doctor prescribed her 0.8 units. So you know that there was a problem there. Many problems. Also, she's not dead, so there's a problem. So, but the thing is that the reason why she was getting the calculations wrong and drawing up wrong is because she did not have her own syringes. She was using other people's syringes. So we know that there's a cost issue, there's an insurance issue, there's an access issue. So I took her story and the story of my father and every other diabetic patient that I had, and I took that to Albany and said, you know what? If it's one thing we're going to eliminate, is the cost to insulin, the cost to syringes. And so 2 years ago, I passed legislation in the budget to eliminate copays for insulin and make sure that no one had to struggle to get the insulin that they needed. Thank you. So please understand that by being in assembly, it does not mean that I abandon the field of nursing. Far from it. I'm so proud of the ability to use my nursing license, my professional degree, as a platform as a legislator to champion healthcare justice, climate change. I get into every single business. I promise you, my mouth is open. And I bring the methodology that we learned in nursing school to the legislature. Remember, Martin Luther King said that all forms of inequality, injustice in health is the most shocking and inhumane. And today we're still battling those inequalities. And so how do we do that? Remember, you learned basic, associate's level API. You assess, you plan, you implement, and you evaluate. Unfortunately, a lot of my colleagues don't do that. And so right there, when you look at how I pass a bill, you look at what policies that I push, what policies that I advocate. It starts from basically looking around you. My son loves to play with Band-Aids. Did you know that there are PFAS in Band-Aids? PFAS that then gets in contact with bloodstreams. And then we wonder why our children grow up toxic, why our bodies are toxic, including why our environment is toxic. But that simple question as to why is my son playing with toxic Band-Aids? Now I have a bill in the assembly to remove all PFAS Band-Aids from market in New York State. And I fight for other things like implicit bias. I fight for dignity in birth. I fight for a lot of things. But all of this is around the framework that when you engage people, when you teach and you are responding to people, nursing and legislating are the same. API does not change. And so remember that the skills that you need to do the amazing work it takes to change your communities isn't different from a care plan. It isn't different from how we address the needs of a patient. Because dare I say that the New York State, the whole New York State, is a patient in dire need of health and care. And so that's how I work as a nurse legislator. I'm always assessing, I'm always listening, observing, seeing what the problems are. I come with a plan. I do not come up with a plan on my own. It is very collaborative. There are smarter people than me, right? And you will not work alone either, because this is a call to action. You are bachelor's prepared, advanced practice nurses, and it is a call to action. A call that I hope that you understand that there is precedence for that call. Nurse and care work have always been part of the political process. Harriet Tubman was a nurse, and during the Civil War, she earned a reputation as a fierce and capable nurse with extensive knowledge of herbal remedies. And while Sojourner Truth was enslaved, she was a nurse for the family of her enslavers. Once she was freed, she often found herself speaking before Congress, advocating for nursing education and training. And remember, during the pandemic, when they were banging on pots and pans for us and telling us, good job for completing your shift and thank you for coming in at 7 p.m. Remember that they turned to us to find out exactly how to heal our communities after such a pandemic. And you know how we did it. We did it with care. We did it with love, and we did it with evidence-based practice. So, if you can take away one thing from my speech today, is take away that the knowledge that the system will not change itself. No one asked for freedom. You went out and took it. And it will require people like you in this room pushing for change. And there is no better person to push for change than the most trusted profession in the United States. And so you can push for change, whether it is by the bedside, with the patient, in the institutions. You can push for change by the hospital board, because we're fighting for that to make sure that RNs on every single hospital board, because we must have the profession there, right? You can do it at the community board. You can do it during lobby meetings with people who don't understand that care does not mean just feelings. Care means action. And so there is no other person better suited to lead the change than the nurses in this room. And when we see ourselves as positive change agents, we realize that we deserve it all. We as the collective. It's for us, and we shouldn't be afraid to ask for it. Thank you.
So in 2020, we were not able to give you your pin, but we're able to give it to you today, and we're very excited. So hang on one second. Thank you so much. Maybe your son can play with this when he's a little bit older.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. And next, I would love to present Dr. Lily Matthew.
Dear students, faculty, staff, and families, it is my pleasure to introduce Ikra Yassin. Ikra is a graduating first-generation college student and mother. Ikra returned to school to pursue greater education in nursing, drawing on lived experience, resilience, and profound commitment to compassionate care. Inspired by a nurse who saw her during a vulnerable moment, she now carries the same presence and advocacy into her practice. Please join me in welcoming Ikra as she shares her journey at CUNY SPS and addresses the class of 2026. Welcome, Ikra.
Thank you, Dr. Matthew. Good evening, faculty, families, and fellow graduates. Before I begin, I just want to pause for a second and really take this in, because moments like this don't come easy. They're built over years of sacrifice, resilience, and quiet determination. My name is Ikra Yassin, and I stand here today as a first-generation college student, the daughter of parents who came here from Pakistan with hopes in their hearts and dreams they passed down to me before I even understood them. And today, this achievement is not just mine. It belongs to all of us. My journey to this stage hasn't been a straight line. After earning my first degree in public administration, life took a different path. I stepped away from school for 7 years to build a life as a wife and a mother. During that time, my world revolved around responsibility, love, and sometimes uncertainty. There were moments of self-doubt, moments where I questioned if I even had fallen behind or if I would ever find my way back. One thing I learned over this period of time: growth doesn't just happen on a schedule. And sometimes the most important chapters are the ones that don't come with a syllabus. One thing I learned, my turning point came during one of the most vulnerable times in my life, after the birth of my first child. In that postpartum period, when I felt physically exhausted and emotionally overwhelmed, there was a nurse who cared for me in a way I'll never forget. She didn't just check my vitals and do a head to toe assessment and leave. She saw me. She listened. She reassured me in moments when I didn't feel like myself. And in that experience, something shifted in me. I realized that nursing is more than just a profession. It's presence. It's compassion in action. It's showing up for someone when they are in their most vulnerable and reminding them they're not alone. That moment brought me back. But this time, I returned differently. I came back with a purpose, with resilience, with understanding that my gap wasn't lost time. It was lived experience. It taught me patience, empathy, and kind of strength you can't learn from a textbook. And to my fellow graduates, our journeys may all look different, but we share something powerful. We have endured long clinical hours, endless exams, papers, and yes, those 2 a.m. care plans that never seem to end. We balance school with work, with family, and with life. Some of us showed up exhausted, but we still showed up anyways. And that is what I describe as success. Because success is not just about grades. It's about perseverance. It's about choosing to keep going, even when it'll be easier to stop. Especially those cold NYC mornings when you don't want to get up and you know you still have a train ride to get to work and a whole 12-hour shift ahead of you, but you still showed up. That's one step closer to your goal. As we step into this profession, we carry more than just knowledge. We carry responsibility. Nursing means bearing witness to people's hardest moments. It means advocating for those who may not have a voice. It means bringing humanity in spaces that need it the most. And for me, it also means honoring where I come from. In my culture, care often looks like homemade food on the table, warm chai after a long day, and family showing up for one another without being asked. That sense of care, of community, it lives in me. And now it lives in the nurse I am becoming. Thank you, God, for giving me the willpower to continue this journey. To my family, thank you. To my parents who sacrificed so much to give me opportunities they never had. To my children who gave my journey new meaning. To my classmates who turned into family, are my biggest support system, who believed in me even when I questioned myself. This moment is because of you. And to my fellow graduates, this is not the end. This is the beginning of a life where we will make a difference in ways we never fully see. One motto that has stuck with me throughout the years: if you put your mind to it, nothing can stop you. So wherever this journey takes us, let us remember why we started. Let's lead with compassion. Let's show up fully. And let's never underestimate the impact of simply being there for someone. Because sometimes the smallest moments of care become the ones that change everything. Thank you, CUNY School of Professional Studies, for having me here today, and congratulations, class of 2026.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. So as we begin the pinning segment of our ceremony, it's important to note that the nursing pin is much more than a symbol. It is a tradition rooted in history. Its origins trace back to Florence Nightingale, who was recognized for her heroic service in battle. Inspired by this honor, schools of nursing began awarding pins to graduates as a mark of excellence, dedication, and the readiness to serve. Today, the nursing represents not only the knowledge and the skills that you have gained, but it is also a reminder of the trust that our patients place in us and the commitment we make to care for them with integrity and respect. And as you receive this pin, you will join a long tradition of nurses who have devoted themselves to the care of others. We'll begin with our candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And for our BSN students who are attending tonight's ceremony on Zoom, I will first read your names on the screen behind me. And for our Bachelor students who are here in the room, following the recognition of your virtual classmates, I will ask you to line up on the ramp next to the stage where I will announce each of you in turn. Please be sure to bring your name card with you. And when you hear your name, Doctors Matthews and Harris will be present to pin you at the stage. Okay, so everyone, let me get to the names. I'm actually going to go over to that podium because that's where I will receive the rest of the graduates. Actually, if you'd like to slowly start lining up with everyone in, that would be amazing. And so to begin with a virtual student, Mobisayo Akinsuye, Sarah Agnogo Poletti, Aaron Bond, Mariki Blackwood, Mary Blaze Williams, Selena Brinson, thank you. Valerie Cole Colhoun, Jasmine Coleman, Hilda Danqua, Alzira De Campos, Ollie Fox, Brianna Gallagher, Sering Gurung, Ksenia Inukova, Charmin Kanom, Marinella Kondaku, Shawnee Ludford, Swanee Martinez Brewster, Tashi Namgyal, Adam Akurovsky, Haba Paradise, Elizabeth Pardo, Adriana Rimachi, David Rosario, Melissa Rosenblum, Amy Elaine Santana, Tamara Smith, Gustavo Tamayo, Leah Todd, Chantel Vogel, Mengyao Wang. And thank you, everyone, to all of our online graduates. Thank you so much. So as we begin, our graduates will receive their pin, and they may also be receiving an academic honor cord. George Contreras, receiving an academic honor cord and a summa cum laude. Aluatoyan Obatosin Lawal, receiving an academic honor cord and a magna cum laude. Thank you. Mirfat Al-Ghuzi, receiving an academic honor cord and summa cum laude. Danny Ramos, Catherine Detrus, one more time. Catherine Detris, receiving a cum laude academic honor award. Janelle Pert, receiving a summa cum laude academic award. Casey Ann Brown, receiving a summa cum laude academic award. Grace Olakunle, receiving a magna cum laude award. Yasmin Patel, receiving summa cum laude honors. Victoria Sicharan, Arlena King, receiving a magna cum laude honor. Lizette Pasquale. Indira Reyes Guzman, receiving summa cum laude honors. Ajua Susuloko, receiving cum laude honors. Nisha Holly, receiving summa cum laude honors. Aluwafan Noyal Makinde, receiving summa cum laude honors. Monica Williams, receiving summa cum laude honors. Nafisoy Kamakulova. That's a shoe. Patricia Castillo, receiving summa cum laude honors. Marsha Francis, receiving cum laude honor. Ikra Yasin, receiving summa cum laude honors. Ramatullah Diallo receiving summa cum laude honors. Melissa Ramirez receiving cum laude honors. Ernesto Breton receiving summa cum laude honors. Hamna Javid receiving magna cum laude honors. Arlene Garcia receiving cum laude honors. Haley Janau receiving magna cum laude honors. Kecia Brown with accompaniment receiving cum laude honors. Amanda Gonzalez receiving cum laude honors. Come on. Now I'd love to welcome Dr. Paradiso to introduce our graduate speaker.
It is my honor to introduce our graduate speaker, Davianne Silvera, a nurse whose journey reflects dedication, growth, and emerging leadership. Davianne began her academic journey at Long Island University when she graduated with her bachelor's degree in nursing. Her professional path evolved through mentorship and experience. Encouraged by her nurse manager, who recognized her strengths in communication, teamwork, and problem solving, qualities that align with nursing leadership, Davianne decided to pursue graduate studies. Davianne describes herself as a people person, and that is evident in how she engages with patients, families, and colleagues. She is inherently a positive person who demonstrates her passion for nursing with much enthusiasm. Her ability to collaborate, lead within a team, and remain steady in complex situations has made her an excellent fit for the nursing organizational leadership program. Davian represents the kind of nurse our profession needs: grounded in practice, open to growth, and ready to lead. Please join me in welcoming Davian.
Thank you, Dr. Paradiso. Good evening, distinguished faculty, honored guests, family members, and my fellow graduates. Leadership in nursing does not begin with a title. It begins with a decision. To be a mastered prepared nurse leader today means thinking beyond the bedside and truly seeing the bigger picture. Healthcare is a complex, interconnected system in which policies, staffing, technology, and patient outcome influence one another. As nurse leaders, the decision we make, whether it's simply implementing policies or adjusting staffing modules, this decision directly impacts workload, team morale, and patient safety. What sets a master's prepared nurse apart is the ability to look beyond what is happening and understand why it is happening. We rely on evidence-based practice and research to guide decisions, allowing us to lead more effectively and measure meaningful outcomes. More importantly, we serve as advocates, not just for our patient, but also for our team members. That means recognizing system-level challenges and speaking up for safe staffing, safe staff well-being, and a workplace where our nurses feel heard. Advocacy and influence goes hand in hand. As nurses, we must use our voice, relationships, and knowledge to create real change. Just important, we set the tone. By leading with professionalism, transparency, and accountability, we build trust and empower others to speak up, creating a stronger, more supportive environment for both staff and patients. One of the most meaningful support I experienced was working with Dr. Paradiso. From the beginning, she took the time to understand my schedule, my 2 jobs, and my personal responsibilities. When she suggested I start with 6 credits to maintain balance and protect my mental health, I initially wanted to challenge it and take 9 credits. Instead of pushing back, she listened, respected my choice, and adjusted my plan accordingly. That moment showed me that I was in a program that truly valued students as people and not just learners. Her guidance, encouragement, and focus on self-care gave me confidence to manage the work to manage the workload and reinforce the importance of mentorship and support in leadership. That moment taught me that leadership isn't about control, it's about understanding people. Thank you. Completing this program online required discipline, flexibility, and resilience, and it came with many sacrifices. It was not easy, but it taught me how to be intentional with my time and push through challenges. I chose growth, but it came at a cost. Growth came during my late night and early morning studies when I had to keep going despite feeling overwhelmed. There were many missed dinners, missed trips, and missed moments. Through it all, my friends and family stayed patient, understanding, and supported me, even when it meant me being less available to them. For that, I want to take a moment to truly thank them. You all believed in me when I felt discouraged and overwhelmed. Your sacrifices alongside mine have not gone unnoticed. This achievement is just as yours as it is mine. As healthcare continues to face shortage, burnout, and rapid technology change, I plan to bring forward thinking, and practical solutions. I will continue to advocate for healthier work environment and promote mental health support for healthcare workers. With technology evolving so quickly, I believe in meeting people where they are, supporting staff through change with openness, patience, and clear communication. Building trust through transparency is a priority for me. At the same time, addressing healthcare inequities remains essential, ensuring that all patients have access to safe, high-quality care. This journey has been transformational. I've grown from focusing on individual tasks to thinking more broadly about leadership, influence, and long-term impact. It has strengthened my confidence and deepened my sense of purpose. I've learned that leadership is not about a title, it's about responsibility. Throughout this program, I've been able to apply what I've learned directly to my role, making the experience more meaningful. I also could have not done this alone. Along my journey, I met classmates who became source of motivation and support. Nursing is truly a team profession. None of us grow or lead in isolation, and that sense of community make all the difference. With this degree comes responsibility. I am committed to using my knowledge ethically, leading with integrity, and making decisions that protect both staff and patients. I hope to also uplift others, helping them grow in confidence and step into their own leadership potential. My call to action is simple. Pursue the master's path. Step into leadership and use your voice. Healthcare needs nurses who are willing to think critically, advocate boldly, and lead with purpose. The future of nursing depends on it. Don't wait to be called a leader. Start acting like one today. Thank you and congratulations, class of 26.
Thank you so much. Now I'm going to read the names of our graduates online on Zoom, and then we're going to have the master's students come up for their pinning ceremony. And for the master's students, if you'd like to start lining up, that would be wonderful. And so for the online students, first we have our nursing education masters, Sanam Nuruzadeh and Tashia Reed. And then for our masters in nursing organizational leadership, Tatiana Savich and Mahesh Sumra. Thank you. And now we will begin, and I would love to call our faculty to the stage as well. Thank you very much, Drs. Paradiso, Laville Tuesday. Thank you. Tareen Abdu. Crisanta Malicio. Yeza Yasmin. Hazel King. And accompaniments. Davianne Silvera. Ebony Walker. Adebanjo Adetola. Lavella Hugh. Sarah Lee Charles. Ashley Watson. And accompaniment. Monica Zabaklitsky. Dominique Revelle. Patricia Marie Zamora McNay. Please join me in giving me a warm round of applause for all of our graduates. So as our ceremony is drawing to an end, thank you all so much for being here with us tonight to celebrate. And thank you again, Assemblywoman Saffron Forrest. We really appreciate you coming out. Thank you very much to the student speakers. And again, a big congratulations to the graduating class. At this time, I would love to have all the graduates, BSN and MSN, come up to the stage. We're going to do a group photo. So everybody come on up. We'll fill up the stage if we need to go in the front. Absolutely fine.